Hello, hello, Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from the Mission Training Center here in Provo, Utah. I'm hiding in one of the bathrooms, and I don't think the Danites are going to be in this building, so I'm safe for a few minutes to record. I wanted to make a comment on this train wreck that happened in New York, where the train was going 82 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone on a curve, and it fell off the tracks. It killed 4 people, and I guess injured 60 or something others. I've told you in other videos that I was a bus driver once. When I was going to BYU, I drove charter bus all the time for BYU. I used to haul their band around, not for BYU. I did not work for BYU. I worked for a private company called Utah Valley Transit, and we used to take the program bureau all over, and we took the football team, and we took the missionaries, and we took all, basically, the band trips all over. So I have some experience. I drove mostly ski runs. I would load whatever, 55, 60 people on the bus, and then drive up into the ski resorts on snow-packed, ice-covered mountain roads. Now, the reason I'm bringing these two things up is I'm trying to think of how a man that makes $140,000 a year and has worked for an engineer and been an engineer for 10 years can fall asleep at the wheel. How the hell does something like that happen? Now, I drove school bus for many years in Los Angeles area and Massachusetts, other places, and we'd put on 100 kids. We'd put on 100 kids on a school bus in Los Angeles and take them to field trips or whatever. I can't imagine. I'm going to tell you right now, you know, we all have learning curves. We all have learning curves. But damn, you don't run million-dollar trains off the track and kill people on a learning curve. Now, I used to be told when I was a young driver of the bus, you never come down the mountain in a gear higher than it took to pull the mountain. In other words, if it took second gear to get up the mountain, you better come down in second gear. Don't come down in third or fourth gear when you pull the mountain in second gear. You'll get going too fast. Well, I lived that, I believe that, and I drove that. I wasn't trained as a bus driver. I just learned this shit on my own. I would take hundreds and hundreds, thousands of kids every week. Not thousands, it'd be hundreds. Up to Sundance, Altus, Snowbird, Brighton, you name it. And I would drive with no chains and with all those people on the bus. And their lives were in my hand. I can't imagine falling asleep at the wheel. I used to drive all the temple trips to Manti Temple before the Provo Temple was built. And I had people sleeping all through the night, and I was leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was the only one awake on the bus. I'm not going to fault the guy, okay? I'm not going to fault the guy because I wasn't there. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you one thing. There was only 2 times I made a mistake driving a bus, and I probably driven more than 1,000,000 miles. One is I did come off a hill faster than I should have, and the brakes got hot on the bus, and I could look in the mirror and I could see smoke coming out the back duals. Well, when I stepped on the brake, it got lighter and lighter. It was stopping less and less. And there was like a stop sign down at the end of where I had to be, and I had a full load on. And I came rolling out of a mountain pass, going too fast with hot brakes. I couldn't stop at the stop sign down below, so I just started flashing my lights and and honking my horn. And the people on the bus were a little upset when I threw my arms up and said, "Jesus, take the wheel! Jesus, take the wheel!" Well, as usual, he didn't do shit. It was up to David. So I ran through the stop sign, smoking brakes, and it took me about a quarter of a mile to get stopped and get those brakes cooled down. Well, that taught me a hell of a lesson. I never did it before. I never did it since. I was driving a bus coming out of Provo, Utah, full load, coming across the freeway ramps in Salt Lake City. And it was cold, and it had been snowing, it had been wet, and I came up over an overpass. And shit, the power steering wheel became no pressure anywhere. And I go, holy shit. I'm going 70 miles an hour on ice with a full load up on a ramp, and I'm on black ice. Black ice. Well, you can panic, turn the wheel like a crazy man, scream, "Jesus, take the wheel." Or you can calm down and go, well, you know, good thing I'm wearing my garments. So anyway, after I got over the ramp, then the road became solid again, and that taught me a lesson. That taught me a hell of a lesson. Slow down. Slow down. You have all those people. Well, here you got a guy makes $140,000 a year. As a bus driver at BYU, God, I got paid, I don't know, $6, $7 an hour, something like that. And for him to be driving that train and get up to 82 miles an hour, the speed limit on the railroad track was 70. He had to be asleep for quite a while for that speed to build up. It also has a dead man pedal, I think, or switch, I forget which one it is, that if he dies of a heart attack or passes out or whatever, falls down, the train will come to a stop automatically. But he either tied that pedal down or put a rope on it or had some tricky Nixon-Dixie stuff that kept that pedal down while, you know, he dozed off. So I understand those of us that have been responsible for other human lives making mistakes, but you know what? We shouldn't make big mistakes. Big mistakes are unacceptable. You better have some damn judgment and not tip a train over and kill 4 people at 82 miles an hour. Now, he can say he was in a daze. Well, you know, he's going to be days in jail now. But, you know, a daze and hypnotism and sleeping are not too far apart, folks. As an old bus driver, they're not too far apart. So anyway, I just wanted to vent my 2 cents on this, that I've driven with people's lives in my hand. And I've made small mistakes. I never make them again. 1 mistake at a time. I've made 2 over all the thousands of bus trips that I've driven. And for this guy to make that kind of a mistake, I'm going to say it's basically unforgivable. You don't sleep as a train engineer. I'm sorry. I just can't buy it.